Hi everybody, Miss Dudley here. I would like to take some time to say thank you to everybody who's been working really hard to understand questioning. So we're going to look at questioning today in a deeper manner. So questioning, why do we need questioning as a reading strategy? Well, when we're able to ask questions to the text, it just helps us to engage a lot deeper with the text. Think about when you guys are reading The Outsiders. Maybe you have some questions that might come to mind. Not only can questioning be used as an effective reading strategy, it can also be used as a learning strategy, meaning when you guys are trying to learn about different topics that interest you on your own, and maybe you're looking on the internet, so using the Safari, because you guys have your iPads, you need to be able to have, to be able to execute effective learning strategies so that you can understand and gain a better understanding of what it is you're trying to learn. So we had a discussion about why our questions form, and where do questions come from. And a lot of you have discussed that questions can represent the core of knowledge. Questionings help you guys to think about other topics. These can be subtopics, these could be bigger topics. Okay, and then we talked about questioning being used in our careers. How in your future career, like how does a professional person, say an accountant or a doctor, how you've seen in the video, or a computer engineer, how do professionals utilize questioning as a learning strategy in their career? And I wanted you guys to think about your own career and think about a question that you have about your own career. Okay, then we looked at questioning related to The Outsiders, and you guys came up with some great questions in our iTunes U course. So when you're thinking about questioning, you should be asking yourself, or you should be thinking about, how does my question help me to interact better with the text? How does my question, help me to gain motivation for reading or to read more? Okay, can your question that you're asking or developing help you to have a better understanding of the text? Okay, so last week we started with part 2. Part 2 really did focus on what are the different types of questions that we can ask. Okay, you guys started taking notes in your iPad. We watched a video with Mike demonstrating how he asks questions and how questions can lead to more questions or a higher level of questioning, and how maybe there is a such thing as trying to ask the right question using the appropriate keywords so that it can help you gain more knowledge. Remember, our words are very, very, very amazing and powerful. Don't be afraid to ask good questions. Okay, we talked about closed question types. We talked about closed question types versus open-ended question types. Open-ended question types are very different from closed-ended question types. Open-ended question types allow for a much longer response and leads to more creativity and information. Okay, the 4 question types that we're going to focus on are as follows. The loaded question or leading question type, which you guys spent some time last week working on. Today, we're really going to focus on the recall and process question type. Later on in the week, you will learn, probably Wednesday, Thursday, you're going to learn about rhetorical questioning, and then finally the funneling type of question. So just to review, what are leading or loaded questions? A leaded or loaded question is a question that already has within the question, it almost frames what the result is going to be. So with this one right here, did you have a good day at school? This is an example of a leading or loading question, because the question is directly pointing to the fact that the person, they want them to answer by having the person explain that they had a good day at school, not just an ordinary day or a bad day, but did you have a good day in school? So then we talked about the difference between unloaded and leading question types. So if this question was unloaded, it would have stated, how was your day at school? See, right here. How was your day today? Or how was your day? No, how was your day in school? That's an example of an unloaded question. To make it a loaded question, you're going to have to add in some description. Did you have a good day at school today? Did you have a bad day in school today? Okay, we're asking for some type of judgment of the day. Okay, now today we're going to study what are recall and process questions. So recall and process questions are questions that can be categorized by whether they are recalling or requiring something to be remembered, or recalled or processed, meaning requiring some deep thought or analysis about something. A simple recall question could be, what's your mom's maiden name? Okay, what is the highest mountain? A teacher may ask a recall type of question. What is the highest mountain? Or I may ask a recall type of question. How old was Johnny when he died? Process questions, on the other hand, require more thought and analysis or sharing of opinion. I think this is key right here, sharing of opinion. Okay? Example, what skills can you bring to this organization? Okay? What are advantages and disadvantages of asking, say, recall questions or leading or loaded question types? So let's take a look at this example, and then we're going to stop. So chapter 9 on page 111 in our online PDF book. So with this, you guys could read this section now. Okay, now over here, here's an example of a recall, a process question. Why does Soda like to fight? We can look for the answer directly in the text too. So one reason that Soda likes to fight, he likes to fight for fun. Here's another example of a recall type of question. What's the difference between the reason Ponyboy identifies related to why Steve and Derry both like to fight? So what's the difference between the reasons related to why they both like to fight? That's what that should have said. And that reason is Steve likes to fight because he wants to promote hatred, and Derry likes to fight to promote pride. We can actually use the text right here. So Steve for hatred, Derry for pride. You could ask other recall and process questions related to this little small part of the text, but again, this is just like a review of what I want you guys to start thinking about as we work on our questioning types. Because remember, after this unit, we're going to start studying inferring and how to read between the lines for something. So I want you guys to become the experts at asking questions, how to ask good questions related to text, and you guys have a lot of practice with that. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. We are focusing on recall and process questions. If you can use the online book that we have, or if you're confused about what it is, you could go to your Safari and actually just type in, what is a recall question type? Look at how I'm using the internet. I'm typing in very specific keywords. Okay, so then you can go and look at maybe some examples. How many oranges can one buy for 35 cents? So this is an example of a recall question, recall type of question, an objective test, where you have to directly refer back to the text in order to retrieve some type of information. So usually it's factual information that doesn't necessarily have to be factual, but it's factual as it relates to the text or as it relates to the reading. Okay, and if you're confused, you can go to Google, see what you find. You could type in example of recall questions, and look, some other people already typed it in, so you're not alone. Okay. recall and prediction question. So recall, here we go. What was the story about? As example, a recall question. What happened in the story? What part did you like best? That's a recall. This is a what part did you like best? So you can see it's a recall, but there's also a little load in that question as well, because we're not talking about what part you didn't like, we're talking about what part you like best. So as you can see, some of these question types are overlapping, so don't become confused. Okay, just start to work out and sort out the various different types of questions.